All right, cool. Hey, what's up, people? Technical difficulties galore, but it doesn't matter because one way or another, this episode starts without the intro because my intro ain't got any sound. But if you want to hear it without sound, the episode starts right now. It's a brave new world, people. Putting that in, putting that in on the edit. All right, guys, this is episode 263 of the Option Podcast, along with MMA commentator and the founder of Fight and Sight Podcast. I got Timmy B, Jason DeBeas. We're coming off of UFC 321, huh? What'd you think?
Yeah. The numbers are going, they keep skyrocketing, my friend, and good to be back.
Yeah, right. Well, when I saw it, I thought it was like main event heavy because we like Mackenzie Dern, right? I mean, so let's just be a little bit more uh explicit with our sentiments.
Yeah.
Let's disclose that right now. And it's an interesting match. Like Cyril Gahn, look, he got caught by John Jones, but he's such a dangerous striker. He made Francis Ngannou want to wrestle. I don't know if people remember that. Francis Ngannou won that by decision by doing something we've never seen Francis do. So,
hmm
and Francis is a guy who can probably return the favor. So, but
Yeah.
and of course, there's always got to be some drama, right? So let's start with the first part. Let's start with the eye poke. So this is not really a debate question, a debate question as much as it is just a discussion. Um, the question was, a lot of people thought he was able to continue, and he didn't. And I'd like to just let you go first on that.
You don't know, man. You don't know. It's so tough. I mean, the slightest of groin shots can incapacitate someone. Depending on the eye, I don't know, man. It's really hard to judge someone for stopping competing due to an eye poke. It's not like we don't think the eye was poked. You can see an eye poke occur.
Twice.
Uh,
You got the double
Yeah,
finger.
dude, I don't know. I mean, anybody that grew up, like, the Three Stooges block. So I mean, dude, practice the Three Stooges. Uh, Look, it's hard to blame the guy for stopping. Only he knows how incapacitated he was and what it means. Whether the result of the fight should be a no contest
Yep.
or whatever, that's up for debate, and that's maybe an argument that we could have in terms of how should we be judging fights that stop due to inadvertent eye pokes or groin strikes or things like that, because then you get into an Aljamain Sterling who won a title off of a suspicious stoppage due to an illegal blow. So that's where it goes. I don't know. You can't judge him, and I would like to think that someone's not going to take the easy way out.
Yeah. Well, let me start with the easy part. Um, Aspinall said it was the second time he got eye poked and no one knew what he was talking about. But when he went for a takedown, he caught one to the eye hard, and it was the same eye. Which leads me to the more difficult point. I know everybody gets poked in the eye. Doesn't want to say they can't continue because people might think that they're a wuss or whatever. And I don't like that. And I don't think you should fight someone like Cyril Gahn with one eye who has power in both hands, right? I mean, anyone that's ever seen a Rocky Balboa movie, when Mickey was showing him, he's like, yeah, I see it over here. And the other one, he's like, I see it. He said, no, you didn't. Creed would have caved in the side of your face. It's one of those things where, like, look, it's illegal. You use your weapons wisely, right? I know Muay Thai fighters have their hand out, but their hand usually comes top of their head, right? Now, you don't see people doing this, right? And I just want, for me, and it's going to lead to the subtopic of this. I just want to take the athletic commission to take some of the responsibility out of these people's hands. If you poke someone in the eye, I don't care if it's an accident or not. It's a point, right? And if you do it again, it's a disqualification. Now, you and I, as we have a very short time here. We can go down the line on shots where we think should be automatic DQ or should be this and that. But I'm really, really tired of these strong warnings. I mean, I feel like we're in I feel like Lindsay Lohan in courtroom right now. You know, like the judge is like, I know this last time was your last strike, but this time I mean it. This is your last chance, right? It's like how many breaks is like Robert Downey Jr. get in the 80s and Lindsay Lohan in the early 2000s in court? How many times is a judge going to say this is your last time? This is a strong warning. Give me a break. Let's start. So ahead.
There's a guy that I used to watch in the local Muay Thai scene here in Toronto, Canada, who in every single fight would groin shot his opponent by accident and then go on to win the fight.
Right.
Whether that groin shot was on purpose or he just wasn't in control of his weapons or whatever, that foul gave him a benefit for the remainder of that fight. And I watched the guy do it multiple times. It was a thing we all knew.
Right.
Even if you take away a point, if I can then finish the fight and beat you because you're compromised due to the eye poke, I don't know that even a point matters. And would I be willing to lose that point knowing that then I'm just going to knock you out and finish you anyways? Or if I'm losing and I'm about to lose, do I just poke you in the eye, take the point, but then at least now I kind of reset and maybe I have a chance. Like I've got a puncher's chance to win that fight. So I don't know what the solution is. Maybe we just wear glasses while we fight. And, you can't poke me in the eye because I've got glasses over my eye. Obviously, I'm kidding you, idiots. Right. But the point is, I don't know what you can do to avoid the benefits of an illegal strike. Like honestly, like that's the world we live in. You hope that you fight clean, you hope that everything, but it's not reality, and so it's very tough. And I know we're going to get into that other conversation about the weight cutting and stuff like that. So everything will kind of tie in. By the way, the new graphics that you've got for this, I love it. It's very, very cool. I like it.
I'm just mastering the green screen, my friend. Or in this case, just a black screen.
Can you make me look buffer? Give me some better traps.
On the edit, where I actually have sound from my
Thank
intro,
you.
I'm just gonna throw it all in. Maybe some pictures of Mackenzie Dern too. But
yeah, give me some nice face tats.
Here's the solution, though. The best deterrent are automatic 1 point. And the next time you do it, automatic DQ. I'm telling you.
But
people will
then
take care of their weapons.
But then the problem is, then I fake an eye shot though. Then I fake a poke, and now you're running the risk that someone's going to go, "Hey, poke me in the eye," and it's going to turn into soccer.
No,
you know what I mean?
If someone's losing the point, they have a 5-minute period to recover from that, and during that 5-minute period,
no, but what you're saying was in the second.
No, but the advanced
But you're saying
technology.
the second eye poke. But you're saying the second eye poke, I get DQ'd.
Yeah, but but there's plenty of time between the DQ and when they announce it. You can look at the replay. You can't tell me the UFC that has millions of dollars invested in this technology.
No. But what I'm saying is, but then go back and, I guess. So you're saying even if I get no. But what? Okay, hold on.
No, go ahead, please.
This is live podcasting, so that's why I'm not fully clear on my thing here. And this is a debate I didn't know we were going to get into per se, but. What I'm saying, though, is how many fights in the UFC history now, or even just this year, whatever stat you want to look at, how many times has someone been poked in the eye and they continued? How many times has someone been poked in the eye twice and continued?
Right.
So the problem is, though, if you institute a rule like that, you are going to encourage, you might lose a bunch of fights because the automatic DQ will just end that fight.
Right.
Where in reality that guy might have just kept fighting. And I get it. I get that the guy still wins and blah blah, but you may be, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
maybe
almost
I
like
like
wrestling.
that.
It's like wrestling, like where like Ric Flair doesn't want to lose his belt. He like hits someone with a chair, right? He gets DQ'd, but he keeps his belt.
Keep the belt.
And that's how fighters move up. They'll take the DQ and move up the rankings.
What I will say, and the reason why I think you and I are such good friends, is I have a Ric Flair reference for when we talk about Mackenzie Dern. I was planning it today in the car, so that's so funny you would bring him up. But I don't know what the problem is. The problem is fighters are always going to look for ways to win. Mm-hmm. They are not going to look for ways to cheat, but they are going to look for advantages. That's where we get into weight cutting and stuff like that, right? Weight bullying and things like that.
Agree.
My only problem when you institute things like an automatic DQ, even the points, I don't want this to turn into soccer.
Right.
You don't want, or basketball. You don't want flopping around and
Listen. I'd
It's
like
very
our
tough.
audience to answer this question for themselves. All right, and maybe anyone in the comment section. And me and you know the answer. It's like our secret question, but we know the answer. If Aljamain Sterling, what happened to him? If the referee's gonna rule that a no contest, would Aljamain Sterling gotten up or stayed down?
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Right? Come on, right? The DQ gets him the belt, right? But a no contest, Jan keeps the belt. So it's this evil little question.
But that's
This
not but
it's
that's
this
not
dirty
fair
little
though also. But
secret.
that's also not fair though, because what you're saying is even though you're a little bit compromised or maybe a lot
Mhm.
compromised, hey Aljo, get your ass up and go fight because you're never going to get this title shot again if you take this. So
Mhm.
you're also it's very tough, man. It's you're penalizing someone while at the same time not penalizing the other. It's a very difficult tightrope to walk. And remember, you institute a rule like this, which may be implemented at the highest levels at UFC or whatever, but your local promotions, even in the mid to high range ones, they won't have the technology to do instant replay. Definitely, even if you could, not at all the different angles that UFC would be able to show you, and therefore that rule again could get taken advantage of at local level MMA fights. And again, that's something that you'd have to be worried about.
Yeah, and
They
and
don't have they
mhm.
don't have the replay technology like that. Not to be able to do it on the fly like that and not with all the angles that would definitely catch it, not the slow-mo, the super HD res, blah blah blah.
So to be continued, because what we're looking for is something between the false dichotomy of a strong warning and going buck wild and just saying automatic DQ. But
Yeah.
at least just maybe the just taking a point is the meeting of the in the middle, right?
The
Just
point for sure, dude.
yeah,
I
I
don't
don't.
disagree with the
Nobody's
point.
doing it on purpose. I don't care if it's an accident. You have to protect your weapons. And I understand what warnings. Like if someone's on the ground, right, and I'm about to do a hammer fist, and he turns his head this way, knowing that if it's the
Yeah, yeah,
back of
yeah.
his head, he's protected, and he does this last minute, right?
Hmm.
You got to give me a warning because this guy's doing
No,
that
no, no,
on
of course.
purpose. This
Yep.
guy's doing it on purpose because he's using the rules, right? So
Now,
I understand where a warning would come into play. But
yeah, but what I'm also saying is I don't think like look, 5 years of doing my MMA podcast, we've gone through the rules several times. I'm friends with several UFC judges and referees. I've read through the rules. An official can take a point for a first eye poke.
good. It
So
should be. It
so
shouldn't be a
may,
warning. Point.
so maybe your problem is not necessarily the rules in and of themselves, it's the usage of those rules by the officials and maybe to encourage them to be more strict in the usage.
Or maybe to encourage the usual suspects, right? I mean, I saw Jim Miller on Ariel Hawani's show. The man had like 100 fights, and how many times has he poked someone in the eye? Right? Same gloves, same whatever. Right? John
Yep.
Jones, like it seemed like a one eye poke for every 2 fights, you know.
Definitely.
And at
Oh,
one point, he had a
definitely.
7 fight poking streak, you know. So
I think that's the same in other sports as well. You know, like if you go and
right.
you're refereeing a sport where you know there's a constant offender,
Mm-hmm.
the referees will keep an eye on you a little bit closer to discourage that kind of behavior as well. When we're talking about fights, there is a back dressing room discussion between the officials and the people, and so the official can go to John Jones and go, look, dude, I know you eye poke people every 2 fights, and last fight you didn't eye poke a guy. This is the fight, so don't even think about it. I'm telling you now in the back room, I am not putting up with that crap, and if you eye poke, I am taking a point. Do you understand?
Right.
Yes? Okay, let's go.
Okay, speaking of, because we got on the subject of fighters who don't want to take a DQ because they don't want, there's an ego identity attached to that
Yeah.
even though there's a pile of money and moving up the rankings, there's an ego identity where they're a prisoner at the moment. They don't want people booing them and it's wild. And I just want to say for the note, why the hell was everybody booing Aspinall and not Gon, right? Like
Because
Gon
no,
got a
you
pass, man. You know?
because the no 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 because here's the deal. This guy to be fair, okay, we're gonna spend our full time on this topic possibly because we're not moving
No,
along.
because the
The
weight thing
problem with
we
the
could do
fan,
in 5 minutes.
the problem with the fans is that because they've been waiting to watch Aspinall fight for friggin' how long? 18 months? How long has
Right.
it been since he fought?
Hmm.
Right? All this warm up, all this blah blah blah, whatever. And if you're a fan sitting in the friggin' nosebleeds, you can't see it so well. You blah blah blah. All I know is that I paid a lot of money for these goddamn tickets to watch you fight, and you're stopping the fight because of an eye poke. Not saying that it's not real,
Right.
not saying that it's not damaging, not saying that it shouldn't have been stopped. But to those fans that paid a lot of money, flew there, airline tickets, the food, the whatever, to have your main event stopped due to an eye poke is very disappointing. I don't think they're necessarily booing him per se, but they're booing the situation. And he's the guy coming out the victor as a result of it. He's getting paid all his money, but I still had to pay all my ticket prices and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't. I get
Right.
why they're booing, man. I do.
No,
I get why they're booing.
boo anyone, but how about boo Cyril Gahn? Like Aspinall's the one that
But did they not?
he
But
got
they
all
didn't.
the heat.
Did they interview Cyril Gahn? I apologize. I
No.
didn't see it.
No,
At the-
but they were booing when Aspinall was talking. Like that's different. He's like, and he actually
because I
addressed
think
the
it's
crowd,
the
like,
I think
he's
it's the
like, what
whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole thing, and I think that when you look at him, and regardless of all these idiots that never train and stuff like that, so they don't know anyways. But probably a vast majority of them are sitting there going, "Hey, dude, suck it up and go fight."
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Who needs the train when you?
That's
have
not the right thing, but that's why
but
they're
who needs
booing.
the train when you have a sample size from 1993 to the present? Like, like if you
Yeah.
if you've been studying this game, you don't need to be, dude. You don't need to be a chef to know what tastes like liver and what tastes like steak. Are you a chef? Then shut up. No, I just you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Topic number 2, and I know we're not. Listen, don't worry about topic 2 because it's not it's something we've already litigated before. And I just wanted to talk about missing weight because the last time we had this conversation, we had like 25 fights and like the people who missed weight won like close to, if not more than 20 of them, right? So there's been this dynamic shift. I go to the last 15 cards, or I'm not sure if I put that right. Yeah, the last 15 cards, we had a total of 10 fighters that missed weight. 11 if you consider Gastelum and his opponent that missed weight, where both fighters missed weight. And it's very, very glaring. Like the fighters who missed weight only won twice. They lost 7 times. And the 10th one we're talking about, both fighters missed weight, so that was a mulligan that I believe Kevin Gastelum won by decision. And my question to you is, and this is where we had to jump off the subject because we ran out of time, like we might be running out of time here, but we caught up really quick. Should the athletic commission take that decision out of the fighters' hands? I'd like to go first briefly. It's the whole I don't want people to think I'm a thing happening all over again. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm gonna take the fight. I'll take the purse. Hey, I get paid. But my complaint was that the fighter that missed weight won, and he moves up in the rankings. And everybody talks about how it's not a big deal. And I'll land the last 10 seconds by saying this: if the athletic commission has a stricter guideline, I understand the fans are getting cheated, but at what point do the fighters hold themselves accountable? At what point do we stop blaming rules and commissions and just say, hey, you know the rules going in, and you have 2 jobs: show up to make weight and show up to fight.
You should just stop weight cutting. The only solution to this is to stop weight cutting. The way that you stop weight cutting is you do multiple weigh-ins throughout either fight week and or the night before and fight day and right before you go into the cage. I think you just eliminate weight cutting as a whole, and there's no reason you can't do it. To be honest, there's no reason you can't do it. If you and I are fighting at 175. And we're both cutting 20 pounds to get to 175 so that on fight day we can both be 195. Well, then who gives a crap? Can we just fight at 190? Like, just what does it matter? Like, in general, I believe I would love to see statistics on that because they do weigh in fighters right before they go in, so they know what their in cage fight weight is. I bet you most people are pretty freaking close, anyways. Give them a few pounds lenience, right? Like you don't have to be exactly the same. Give them a few pounds lenience, but make them weigh in two or three times before, like within 48 hours or 72 hours. That would eliminate a total. I will shout out a plug for my podcast, Fight Insight Podcast. We just did an episode where we talked about the hydration rule in 1FC, because if you know about 1FC, they instituted a hydration rule. The idea was that was going to eliminate weight cutting. My guest shows you exactly why it does not eliminate weight cutting, why it's way worse and way more dangerous, and how there's so many different ways that you can get around the hydration test by drinking distilled water. There's a whole bunch of cheats. We outlined the whole friggin' thing, man. It is nutso. And so Bobby King Green told me on my podcast one day, he said, no matter what you do with PEDs, with performance enhancing drugs, fighters will always find a way to get around it. And actually, in increasing the level of testing to eliminate PEDs, you're actually making the sport more dangerous, because fighters are finding more and more dangerous ways to get around the rule. So I'm not talking about PEDs, but for weight cutting, eliminate it. That's the only way you fix this.
How about same day weigh-ins?
No, but then you're going to weight cut on the, like, again, that's going to get dangerous, because then people are going to try and figure out a way to like sap weight immediately and then bounce back up some stupid way. That's why do multiple weigh-ins over the course of whatever.
Also,
20.
I agree. Also, the logistics of the fight card too, right? You have 24 hours to like someone, like if someone can't fight because they're missing weight, you can at least like scratch the fight, and you can at least move.
You just need
along.
everyone to be honest. You just need everyone to sit there and be honest and go, look, okay, we're all not going to weight cut anymore. We're going to eliminate this from our industry. No more weight cutting. If I generally weigh 195, I'm going to go in the 195 category. You might need to adjust some weight categories and stuff like that. And again, I feel like there should probably be like maybe a 2 or 3 pound variance maybe throughout that 48 to 72 hours. Dude, you're coming in the weight you're coming in, and that's it.
So again, we're back to the beginning. Is the deterrent for our fighters to do that is to just to have the athletic commission scratch the fight?
I don't know. I don't want fights to get pulled off cards, like you don't want fights to go off cards. Like fans, friends, family, they're all going to those events to watch these people fight. And if for some reason now you institute some rule that cuts fights, you're just harming everybody. It's really bad. Like we want to try and make the sport.
When do the fighters take that into consideration?
No, obviously,
right?
but obviously. But no, but I'm saying when I travel to the Air Canada Center to watch John Jones fight, John Jones doesn't give a crap about me. So like, you know what I mean? So if his fight gets scratched, he's not going like, oh, I wonder how Timmy B felt. He came down here on the subway. I'm just saying, like in general,
right?
In general, just cut weight cutting, man. I feel like that's the only way, because otherwise people are going to find ways to get around it, and it's never going to work out. And there's always going to be whatever when. Let's just make it safest as possible.
I say yes to the athletic commission because they already have deterrents that scratch fights. If you use performance enhancing drugs, right? The fans still pay those same fans paid a lot of money, made the trip to see this person, but you know what? He's cheating. Right, he's cheating before the fight even starts. So they already have guidelines to scratch the fight. John Jones, Cormier, remember UFC 200?
No, but the problem is you're putting in the rules that are it's a weird way of thinking, but you're making rules that people are then trying to get around in order to. So like, it's like by creating these rules or these things, you're encouraging them to cheat differently. I'll say at the podcast I did with the guy, he kept referencing the hydration test. He's a 1FC fighter, and he kept saying, I'm doing this to beat the test. I'm doing this to beat the test. And then at one point in the interview, I said to him, I go, can I just ask, why do you keep saying beat the test and not pass the test? And then he's like, because it's not beating the test. It's not about how to pass the test. It's about how to beat it. And the minute that mentality is going through fighters and stuff like that, that's a very weird thing, man. And so, I don't know. I'm a grumpy man.
No, I'm a grumpy man with you in a sense that's like, somebody has to take a finals exam and is like, I'm looking for a way to get the answers, and I'm like, how about study? would you study for that finals? How's that for a determinant?
Because here's the thing, because I don't just need to pass the test, I need to do better than Johnny.
Right.
And so it's not just good enough for me to study. I need an edge because if I don't get a better score than Johnny, I don't get money.
Okay.
Therein lies the problem. So I'm going to do everything I can to do better than Johnny on that test.
Wow, poor old Johnny. Hey, let's do a 60-second countdown on some quick subject matters, and the horn's obviously
Yeah.
not going to sound, but at least we can see the clock. Um, Zern, Mackenzie Dern. That was
Yeah.
Was that a decisive, unanimous decision for you?
I don't know. I don't even care. It's a paper champion it's a paper champion
Right.
in a division that is literally dying.
Right.
You know that the UFC was begging for Dern to win so that she can be the poster child for that division right now. When you look at the rankings, like it is so crazy that you can go on the rankings now and Mackenzie Dern is ranked number one. Just because you have that belt does not make you number one. She was nowhere. I don't think she was close to being
No.
number one ranked before, but
No, there
because
are
she
some
gets this title
savages.
shot. Yeah, it's crazy. But you go down the listing, like I was looking it up today. Zhang Wei Li, okay, fine. She's probably not even ever coming back. Tatiana Suarez, okay, fine. Jandaroba,
That's
just
the one
beat
I
her.
want to see.
Yan Xiaonan, nah. Amanda Lemos, nah. Lupe Godinez, nah. Lucindo, nah. Ricci, nah. Like, this is a division that's in trouble.
Nice.
In
Good.
trouble.
Good, because
I think
I'm not gonna
her
I'm not gonna opine on this because you're killing it right now. I love it.
dude, I think her next fight is against a girl named Susie Simpson. She works at my local Walmart.
Let's go, Susie.
She's never fought before, but I think
Right.
the UFC is going to sign her up because guess what? The UFC is going to want Dern to be champion forever until they build this strawweight division up and until there's a bunch of stars. The division is lacking right now, and I think you have Dern have the title because it's a pretty face or a pretty body to go with that title, and that's all the UFC cares about right now. They have not been investing in that strawweight division, and there's not enough stars and not building stars. So look for Susie Simpson from Walmart. If she can get the time off from her shift, she will fight Dern next. And then after that, there's a girl that I saw. She was competing in a pickleball tournament. I saw her online in Massachusetts. I think she will be the next one on top of that.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the weigh-ins, everybody was staring. No, that's just she's just the best weigh-in smoke show in the history of the UFC. So look, you
To
called
each their
it.
own. To each their own, I guess.
Are you
But,
glad? Lastly, are you glad Volkov won? And you glad Lay and Prey didn't work?
yeah, sure, dude. He's a Russian
He was
dude
doing
with
damage on the
dreads.
bottom. I'm glad too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Russian dude with dreads. The guy's a cool dude. His tattoo is awesome. I like him, and I think that was scored properly. Of course.
Nice. All right, guys. Timmy is in and out faster than Kevin Klein for us on this one. Plug your Fight Inside podcast. Let everybody know.
Dude, I'm Timmy B from the Fight Insight podcast. I am ending my podcast after 5 years. Today is going to be my last episode. So on Thursday, I'm saying I'm ending it because I'm going on kind of like a permanent hiatus. It can always come back. I'm still going to be running the Instagram. I'm still going to talk crap online and I'll still be posting stuff. I still do interviews on millions.co, so you can find me there. So if you just look up Fight Insight podcast, please still go to the YouTube. I still have 245 episodes that you probably have not watched. All of them are fantastic. Very cool
World
fighters from around the world.
champions,
Judges,
yeah,
guests, lawyers,
yep.
champions. Yeah, everything, man. You can also find me at Fight League Atlantic, so I'm an MMA commentator there. Please go follow them, fightleagueatlantic.com, a great Canadian organization. I will be commentating their final pay-per-view of the year. It is Saturday, November 15th in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, Moncton Coliseum. Get your tickets at fightleagueatlantic.com. Please, please, please go support me there because I want them to continue asking me to be a commentator, so I would really appreciate it.
Timmy B, you're the man, and I'm looking forward to listening to you commentate again. Thank you for this hard stop. We're going to hit some fake music. I'm Jason DeBeas. This is Timmy B. I'm Jason DeBeas. We'll hit my not so loud music. We're out.
I
I love it.
love you, my man. See you later, buddy.